I'm still muted, right?
Yep, we're good now.
So we're not stopping the party just yet. We just got a call from Congresswoman Demings. She's heading over from the Rosen Plaza. So I think we have a couple minutes to get a little acquainted. So we're gonna introduce our second vice president, Mr. Easton Harrison, and he will tell you all how to get involved in the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida if you are not currently a member or if you do not currently have a chapter in your county. Our second vice president, Easton Harrison, will help you out with that. Here's Easton.
Everybody, well, good afternoon, and thank you all so much for coming out and being a part of this event. It means so much
We've heard so much good feedback from the panel we had earlier and just our overall presence here at this place. So the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida is definitely making ground, and we want to do some more of that. And the only way that we can do some more of that is by helping grow our membership. Yes, we're gonna grow our membership. If you all are in here and you are not a member, we definitely want you to please become a member. Reach out to me. I will shoot you over and email you the member application form now, and make sure that you can become a member. Also, we have 26 chapters in the state of Florida. We're looking to open up a lot more chapters. We probably have another 4 or 5 on the list. How many members is that? How many members throughout the state? 800 by 850 members throughout the state. Give it up. 850 members. We're doing good. Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure we'll have over 1,000, maybe more. But we can only do that with the help of you all. So that means that with a lot of the stuff that we talked about on that panel, that's how we put that in action through our membership. We are nothing without our members. So this year we opened about 4 new chapters. One of our newest chapters is Palm Beach County. And we're going to be looking for Monroe County on our list next. Down south, we're working on that. And I'm looking forward to opening up a lot more chapters, including in Red Hills. That's a part of our strategy. All right, Bay County is up next. Give it up for Bay County. So if you have a county in mind that you would like a chapter to be opening as well, and we don't have, shout out to Bay County as well. Shout out to Bay County. Shout out to Okaloosa County. Hillsborough in the house. County, everybody. So we're going to be looking forward to having your help in opening up a lot more chapters here in the state of Florida. Please reach out to me. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. Also, give a special shout out to our guests who just walked in. Commission of Agriculture, they can create things. And yes, you can contact me, you can email me at secondbpbbcf@gmail.com. Once again, that's second, SECONDBBCF@gmail.com. Y'all can take my contact information. I know hard to find. My phone number is 754-308-0308. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas or any places where we can get a new chapter. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for that. Please give our second vice membership, East Garrison. We cannot do what we need to do without members. Right? We need as many members as we can gather out in this upcoming election. Because we have a lot of work to do. I think everyone in this room, matter of fact, I know everyone in this room is up for the task. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to join your local Democratic Black Caucus, whatever county you're in. So next up, we have our first vice president. Ms. Jordan Pride. I don't know what George is talking about, but it will be good. So please tune in to our first vice president, Ms. Jordan Pride.
But don't worry, we stay ready as the Black Caucus, right? So I will take a moment to talk about this. The last roundtable discussion event that we had was incredible. I don't know who all was in the room. And I know for me personally, going into 2022 and for us as a board, being real, being authentic, being genuine, and being about the people is something that we are very passionate about as a board, which is why we had a real talk discussion. So you'll see that theme throughout the rest of this conference. Obviously, with the meet and greet with Val, the possible first Black woman elected to Senate in Florida. That was amazing. So we're obviously very excited to push the needle on Black representation here in the state of Florida because it's way past due at this point. So we need you all. So I'll make another ask. We need you all to join us in that fight. So please get with Easton and join us in whatever county that you're a part of. It's going to take all of us in 2022 to beat. I won't call it up name, DeSantis. All right, so we'll need all of you guys. So thank you guys so much for coming. Really, really appreciate it. And Trevor's going to call somebody else out and put them on the spot. Thank you guys.
Thank you, First Vice President George. And I know this is leadership movement, it's all about our Democratic candidates, right? And this is the Black Caucus, so we like to uplift all of our African Americans, no matter what leadership role they are in any county. So we just had walk in our room a gentleman who is now the president of the Tiger Bay Club in Pinellas County, which is the first African American in the history of that club to hold that position. And his name is Reverend J.C. Pritchett.
I'm not sure, even after 20 years, pretty closely baseball together, forces to start at top. And now we see that doors have been opened across this country for us to participate in. And some of these doors are doors of privilege, and of power, and I've never seen persons of color walk through. So we're very fortunate that I am the first president in 48 years, the second time to make the Olympics in Dallas County. Pray for me, it's something that we can thank her.
I'm biased, right? I'm from St. Pete, Pinellas County. Easton started it by calling out all of our counties. So we have our councilwoman from St. Petersburg, who is also Ms. Deborah Fix Saunders in the house. Who is Renee Flowers in the house. And I would like to know, do we have any other elected officials from any county in the house? Please stand.
Yes, we have school board member James Siegel is in the house.
Yes, ma'am. James Hill.
A lot of counties in the house.
A lot of counties.
We have our state representative, Yvonne Hinton.
One thing this office wants to do is
First vice chair, Manatee County. All right.
he's also one of our very own with the Black Caucus. He's our big chair for our outreach, and this is Reverend Caucus. He's not a shy guy, but we're not going to give him the mic, but we'll never get it back.
From the city of Miramar, and she is part of Broward County Black Caucus.
Excited just by hearing names of how many leaders we have that are African American or, you know, of any other race. I think as long as we all recognize that we're all Democrats, we're all pushing for the same goals, no matter how you look or what, how, you know, we all work together, right? So it's good to uplift one another, to acknowledge one another. It just gives someone the opportunity to be seen. I think that goes a long way. Now, for you all that enjoy this room, you've been here with us since Thursday. You guys know we've been in several rooms throughout this whole. Vice Mayor, there she is, Vice Mayor. We've been in and out of several rooms throughout these last 3 days, and every time you walk into a room that we had a part of, it's been decorated, it's been set up, it's been a welcoming room, it's been a welcoming atmosphere. Lunch was great, everything was well planned, room rates were great. If you're not a part of this caucus, I'm not going to tell you what our room rate is because it's very special. And we have the hardest working logistics organizers.
Tell you how we vote, how much time it takes. No, actually, what I'll say is it is absolutely my pleasure. You know me, this is what I do, and it's from my heart. So it's work, but it's good work, and it's because we want to present the best that we can to you. We want to give you our heart because we ask you to work. We know you guys are volunteers. We know you guys are volunteers. We know we can fire a lot. You hear from us a lot. We ask you to travel. We ask you to pay for it. But in the end, what really matters is once we're here, we get to see each other. Is what we do when we get back home, and what we tell our members, and how we share it, and then what we do to heal this party internally first. Is that another one? And I'm just going to say this. Comes at another. And I won't go through all of that, but what I do believe, and I honestly believe, is that the Democratic Party is bleeding within. And if you want us to win blue, you've got to stop bleeding from the inside, because it just flows to the outside. If it's flowing to the outside, you can't take somebody who's on the fence trying to figure out what to do. If we are bleeding red, they're going to lower it. You want them to see your heart, you want them to see blue, let it go. Move forward and let's turn toward the blue. Because we love you and because we want you to work. We want you to join the Democratic Caucus with your feet and hands on the ground so that we can be the reason. We had how many people on the stage that it is because of African Americans and Black people and minorities, and actually it's because of everybody. We work together. There's nothing that we can't do. So what we have to do is say, you know what, 2022, you might think looks a little bleak. You might think it looks a little bleak. But if we all join hands, and I don't mean join hands like that, if we are all working together and we use our hearts, your heart beats every day. Every day that your heart beats is a day that we should reach out to somebody and help them understand and educate them and get them to the polls so that they can vote and we can have Florida blue. All right.
Also, our treasurer. Okay, and I want to roll out our last member of our executive board. It's our secretary, Ms. Annie Sweet.
Good evening. Y'all listen to me talk. I don't want to talk, but listen. The Democratic Black Caucus, we are one. When you hear our slogan, team us and you, the you and team us means all of us from the state of Florida. And we have to band together. We're going to make all our promises of the communication gap that's been in place, erasing it. Joining the chain, taking that weak link out. So all I'm gonna say to everybody as Chairman Council says, can we talk? So we need to talk to each other. Your caucus up in Pinellas needs to talk to the caucus down in Miami-Dade. We need to work together when it's fundraising, whether it's your local or if it's a state elected official. Whatever we need help on, we need to help each other. Thank you.
And it is time. I wish I had a drum roll. Advisor is Grace Harrington.
Ladies, if you're, and gentlemen, if you're not on your feet, you should be. Guess why? Because the next senator of the state of Florida is in the house. So we want to give her the heartiest welcome and know that the Black Caucus is team back. Don't stand in the way of us and her song from passing. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Let me say this, that was so wonderful. I really think that I should go back out and come back in. I just want to thank you all so very much. I thank your wonderful president, President Mallory. Let's give him a round of applause. Especially during tough times like these. But we thank him for his leadership, and then my friend, my Sarah, state committee woman, Grace Carrington Young. I'm also joined tonight, you know, we all need somebody that watches our backs, for real, right? We need somebody that will stand with us, good backup. I call him my partner, but he is my husband, the father of my children, the papa to our 5 grandchildren, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. He's taking care of Orange County. I'm just saying. He don't need permission from the governor to be the mayor of Orange County. That's what I'm saying. I see Reverend Golden, who we've known such a long time in our AME church, and so many friends. Thank you. You know, I've been running around the country. I've been running around the state, trying to protect our democracy. And it's been tough. Yesterday, my oldest sister passed away. But I'm here because I know my sister would say, you better get your behind out there and trying to save a country. And move forward. And so I thank you all. I do not take it lightly, the support, the love in the room. Just being with me and standing with me and helping me fight the good fight. Because we got the right ones. And I thank you all for just being in the trenches during times like these. Y'all, these are strange times. But if we know the Bible, and I know the people in this room do, they're not strange times. We've seen these times before. Have we seen these times before? When there is an effort to make America not who we say America is supposed to be, right? And so we are here and we are fighting, and I just thank you for being a part of that. We have to acknowledge the Commissioner of Agriculture, Nikki Freed, who is also. You all know the job she has in Tallahassee, but you all know that job. But we just thank her so much for her leadership. Look, I am running for the United States Senate. My friend and colleague, Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, he with us tonight. The majority whip in the House of Representatives likes to say this. He says, we don't need to make America great again. America is great. America has always been great. That is not our challenge. But the challenge is, it seems to me, is how do we make the greatness of America accessible and affordable to all Americans? We're not going to be left behind. We are moving forward. So if you don't like it, you better get the heck out of it. And I am serious about this run. How do we make the greatness of America accessible and affordable to all Americans? Let me tell you why I am so serious about this race. For a lot of things, the incumbent doesn't deserve to be there. He does not care about making the greatness of America accessible and affordable to all Americans. Matter of fact, he doesn't even see all Americans. You don't know America. He will duck and dodge and hide and not stand up and fight for anything. I came today to tell you I will stand up and fight for everything that you care about. The greatness of America. I do believe that we are a great country. But doggone membership should have its privileges. Yeah. I stand before you tonight as the daughter of a maid and a janitor. All right. The youngest of 7 children, the first in my family to go to college. I've worked as a social worker, I worked as a career law enforcement officer, had the honor of serving as Orlando's first woman chief of police, served in the House of Representatives, impeached the 45th president. Now I am running for the United States Senate, and I am running to win. We can win this race. Independent polling shows me within 2 percentage points of Marco Rubio. Now we know that polling is a snapshot in time, but let me say this, what is significant about that? Is that it's so early in the race. No one should really be paying attention, but I guarantee you, they're all paying attention. The Cook report, you know, the political report that we all wait for to see what the Cook report is going to say, move the race quickly in the first 2 months from Republican to lean Republican. That's a good thing, y'all. That's what the Cook report said. CNN, in 2 months after announcing in this race, said that this race is one of the top 10 seats in the country. Likely, their word, not mine, to flip. We all want to celebrate that right now. Joy Reid, my name is Sorry. Joy Reid said that I am Marco Rubio's worst nightmare. And I think Joy Reid knows what she's talking about. I was in the Capitol on January 6th. My Lord. I was there to watch the peaceful transition of power. You all know that American tradition, right? Even when we don't like it. The American tradition is that you respect the will of the people. In this government, of the people, by the people, and for the people, even when our candidate does not win. We accept the will of the people. The peaceful transition of power is an American tradition. We were there were members of the House who had only been in the House for 3 days. And we were taking selfies and high-fiving and having a good time as they were preparing to certify the electoral ballots, declaring Joe Biden as the president of the United States and Kamala Harris as the vice president of the United States. Why does this race matter in so many other races? Why does it matter? Because everything that we care about is at stake. You all know the rest of what happened on January 6th. An angry mob that refused to accept the will of the people broke down doors and broke glass and tried to break their way into the Capitol because they refused to accept the will of the people. I was down on the floor. Now you can imagine as a former police chief when they said get down on the floor. I'm like, I'm not getting down on the floor. Where's my gun? But anyway. I don't care the gun in the House of Representatives. They're not right. But when they said that, I was like, what? We were in what should have been the safest place in the world. The United States Capitol, and they ran in and said, get down on the floor and put on the gas mask because there has been a breach of the Capitol. I was down on the floor next to my friend and colleague, Lisa Blunt Rochester from Delaware, and she looked at me and she said, Val, what's going to happen? I said, Lisa, I'm not sure. I said, but if they kill all of us today, and I really believe that that was a possibility because they weren't trying to break into the Capitol and shake our hands. I said, if they kill all of us today, if we are who we say we are as a nation, another group will just come in and certify the electoral ballots, certifying Joe Biden as the president and Kamala Harris as the vice president of the United States. If we are who we say we are, the greatest nation in the world, a nation where every man, every woman, every boy, every girl can have an opportunity to live up to their full potential. If we are who we say we are as a nation, then membership should have its privileges. And I stand before you tonight guaranteeing that I will continue to work hard and use my voice and use my feet and use my mind and whatever influence I have to make sure that we are creating opportunities for all people living in the greatest country in the world. We don't pick and choose winners and losers based on your ability to play by the color of your skin.
Right.
We can win this race. It is our time. We're not scared.
No.
We're not going back. We're going to keep talking, and we're going to keep walking, and we're going to keep fighting. We're going to fight to protect voting rights. We're going to fight to protect women's rights. We're going to fight to protect civil rights. We're going to fight to make sure that every person in this country has an opportunity. Black Caucus, I thank you. I thank you for taking the time during this busy weekend to be here to support this girl from Duval County. If we are not distracted, if we stay focused and remember who the true enemy is. The enemy is not in this room. We might have different ideas and thoughts about how to get to a certain place, but we're all trying to get to a certain place, regardless of what caucus you're on. Democrats are the only hope for our state and for our country. If we stay focused, if we remember who the real enemy is and who we're really fighting, if we do everything within our power, come November of 2022, I will be elected. The next senator to represent the great state.
They have one thing that can outdo that speech, right? And it's in my profile. It's a donation. Democratic Black Caucus for Florida, which will be our first installment. This installment will be in the amount of $1,500. Her financial guy, I'm pretty sure, will stick around for a little while to do a collection. This is not church, but we're doing a collection. I would like to thank you, Congresswoman. I know what all you've had to endure these last 24 hours. And from the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida, we want you to know that we are with you. Not only today, but all the days. Thank you, and my blessings to you and your family, your husband, and enjoy this.
Anyone who wants to write a check, all right, just raise your hand. Just put it in his hand. All right, I don't know how much time people have, I know it's been a long day, but if there's anyone who wants to ask questions, has any questions about anything that is currently going on in the house, or any questions about our vision for the future, I'd be happy to. I see my political director, Alejandro, is looking, he's coming this way to tackle me, because, okay, all right. Any questions or comments that anyone will have about anything? I'm just saying, I'm first vice president for the state of Florida, the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida, and I will say we're so excited as a Florida, as a Black woman. I'm inspired by you, and I appreciate you stepping out and pushing the needle on Black representation here in the state. First of all, thank you so very much for making flowers out there. Thank you. You know, fight is out and continue that experience. Mass, things of that nature. Where do you see us going? I know here in the state of Florida, of course, the state really tried to use the bullying forward and put us back at risk, especially with the Omicron variant that's out there. So, can you kind of update us as it relates to what's happening as it relates to the federal mandates, pushes versus corporations and potential fines that they could see as a result of, unfortunately, state Florida's last special election? Well, thank you so much for that question. And look, our primary responsibility as elected officials is the health, safety, and well-being of the people that we represent. We have a public health mandate. It certainly shouldn't be a political issue. It's not a Republican issue, a Democratic issue, an independent issue. The health, safety, and well-being of Floridians. The health, safety, and well-being of the American people is supposed to be our top priority, but unfortunately, you said it so well. In the state of Florida, the governor has made it political. The person I'm running against has made it political. We've seen that happen all over the country. But what I have said is that no their county, their city, better than those local officials. And while the CDC and the administration will certainly give guidelines, the first requirement is to believe in science. I don't know when we started debating that, but believe in science. But the CDC should give some guidelines. But I think you are smart. Governors are smart. Members of Congress are smart. U.S. senators are smart when they allow those local jurisdictions. Because my husband, who's the mayor of Orange County, likes to say, look, when something's going on at your house, you're not going to call Tallahassee. You're not calling Washington, D.C. You're calling those local authorities to come and take care of it. Who knows the numbers? Who knows the situation? Who knows the resources that you may have in your particular jurisdiction better than you do? So let's allow those local jurisdictions to make the decisions that are in the best interest of the people that they represent every day. Not just, when it's convenient or there's a national election. And that's what we should do. Let me say this too. When we don't take care of problems, and let's look at COVID-19 like a problem. It is a big problem. When we don't take care of problems, what happens? They just get big. And you all see how the virus is saying, oh, y'all not serious. So I'm gonna remake myself. I'm gonna manifest myself in a different way. And that's where the different strains come from, right? When we do not effectively deal with it, it mutates and changes, and we cannot let the virus defeat us. We've got to defeat the virus. And so leaving it into the hands of local health departments to make those decisions and issue guidelines is a really smart thing to do. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you. Coming up here to the board. You mustn't be, okay?
But the question I have is that, in my day, as you know, we all observe the original. Because our local CDC feel that in our Black community, they don't have the investment. Black people don't vote Democrat. It's not the matter, yes, majority of them vote Democrats. But so asking you with your campaign that to please come into the Black community. And that's wow, we have this grassroots in our Black community to security and and that's the problem we have in my big county. If not, we would definitely do this bid out. And you have this commission seat 1, 2, 3, and 5. Or what? Right? That's what we're doing right now. I get called every day, and they're telling me, Madam President, they don't care nothing about us. The Democrats don't care about us. And then we have to remember, and I'm keeping it real. Scared folks, they know it's out. We have to keep out. Something before you. We hit doors for you right now. We have to ask our Democrat Party to join us. And that's what it is.
I've had the opportunity since I have been in the House of Representatives as a member of the Intelligence Committee of Homeland Security and Judiciary to travel the world. And I consider that a blessing. But my mother always taught me, don't ever forget about home. Don't ever forget the people who were with you when your last name is Butler and you had nothing. Because they will be the ones who will be with you no matter what happens, right? To take care of home. And look, I agree with you. See, the mistake, and look, I'll repeat this, that the only hope that the Democratic Party, that America has, and that our state has, is the Democratic Party. It's Democrats. We're the only about everybody, right? We care about everybody. We are that entity. So when we're discouraged and disappointed, and people say, well, why it doesn't matter, everything that we care about is at stake. We are the only hope that this country has. The challenge or the problem that the Democratic Party has had is, look, we know there are always limited resources. And sometimes when you're trying to decide, where do I go? Who am I going to invest in? And we talk about this in Congress about certain rural areas across the country that we have been losing since the mid-70s. Why do we keep going there? I'm not saying you don't give up on anybody, but go stick with the one that brought you to the dance. And the African Americans, black people, have been the strength of the Democratic Party since the beginning. I'll tell you something else I do, but I was reminded by former President Barack Obama, who I had the opportunity to talk with about this race. And we were on the phone and I said, look, Mr. President, you won Florida twice. I said, you're the black guy with the funny name. And I wanted to say with the funny ears, but I didn't want to push it. I wanted him to come down, spend some time. So I didn't push that. But I said, you won Florida twice. How did you do that? And he said, by showing up. That's right. And taking nothing for granted. I knew that. But it was great to hear that. Show up. Earn people's votes. Do what you were taught. Earn the right. Earn their support. Because once you do that, I know you'll want to file for this campaign, right? But I need you to show up. See, win this race, remember Florida's always that 1 to 2 percentage points. We've got to light a fire. We've got to motivate and inspire people to turn out. This cannot be a lukewarm turnout. We've got to have people sleep. You know how they do on Black Friday the night before? They got a lawn chair. And the possibility of that kind of excitement scares my opponent to death, right? But I've got to be there. Another thing about black people that he reminded me of, and even in the Hispanic community too. Don't divide the state in white, black, Hispanic. We have African Americans, we have Afro-Caribbeans, we have Jamaicans, we have Colombians, we have Venezuelans, we have Puerto Ricans, we have Cuban Americans. Don't divide. Get out and talk to people about things that matter to them. Let them know you appreciate them. Now look, Florida's 21 million people, as you all know. My first trip out of the box, because of what you said, I went up to Quincy, Florida. Who lives in Quincy? The Quincy, about 80% black. Almost 90% black. See, I was listening. Don't take home for granted. Because see, some of those smaller towns, they'll work their hands off. I cannot win this race depending on the 4 or 5 largest blue counties. I gotta go into some smaller counties and talk to people about things that matter to them and pick up that 1 to 2 percentage points. I can do that. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to take your message and take it back to Washington, D.C. You want to win? Don't take the base. The base. We don't talk about the base. Don't take it for granted. I gotta say this for black women. We say that black women are the strength of the Democratic Party. I mean, I've heard that, right? Yeah. Show me. you might not tell your sisters and brothers and friends and neighbors and everybody organize the bus and go to the polls and camp out and all of that. You may not do that if you feel like you don't even know what exists. And so take no one for granted. Take no vote for granted. Thank you. Here we go.
Congresswoman,
I'm sorry.
Valerie, what, Demings, all right, it is done.
So we were speaking about COVID-19. My name is Val Demings. I'm a Florida scientist and whistleblower. My question to you is, we talk a lot about restoring faith in science, because that's what it is. How do you accomplish that as a U.S. Senator? I'm running for the House in the first district against my kids. How do we enact that as a law? And what will you do to protect scientific whistleblowers like me? Yeah. So that my family is the only family that Ron DeSantis will ever do that to.
Thank you for that. Say this, since you brought up the impeachment trial. When I was selected to be an impeachment manager, I didn't ask to be a manager. I didn't seek it out. I was trying to hide from the speaker, actually. I was involved in the investigations. I was on both committees with jurisdiction. But I said, you know, let's leave that up to the attorneys, whatever. And when she called and she said, want you to be a manager, okay, great, let's go. And look, for me, it wasn't about politics. As a law enforcement officer, it's about what's right and wrong. It's about upholding the Constitution, the rule of law, and protecting our democracy. That's what it was about for me. But you can't imagine the people who called my office, both of them in Orlando and DC. It was so bad at one time in DC that, I mean, we sent the Capitol Police all over the country just to meet with these people and track them down, who called and said what they were going to do to me and my family. And they talked about my hair, they talked about my size, they talked about my clothes, they talked about my children, my grand, I mean, it was awful. It was so bad we had to send the person in my office who answered the phone to counsel because of what they said about me and what they were going to do to me and anybody around me, right? And so I know what you're going through. But let me tell you the difference. Wouldn't it be a sad day if we need to pass a law that says 1 + 1 = 2? Right. Now just think about it. That's what we don't need to pass a law to say believe in science, right? Because science believes in itself. It's like math, you can't. It is what it is. What we have to do is elect people who believe in science. Sorry, disgusting, ridiculous politicians have done during this COVID, this public health pandemic is shameful. And now, in terms of your family safety, see, I don't play with that, right? We don't play with that. And there are, of course, as you know, state, local, and federal laws on the books that will help to protect you. But you have given me food for thought about when you are in a particular position and folks are calling you, threatening your family, if we could do some enhanced penalties there. Because you have to be able to do your job. And so we have to create an environment that allows you to do that. But it would be a sad day when we gotta pass a law that says now, believe in science. I mean, really, we don't want people like that. We want to elect people who believe in science. And look, and let me say this too. We're not gonna get everything we want. You know, when we look at our candidates, right, we're all only human, and you might love 8 things and hate 2. 8. I'm saying, and some people elect officials accountable. All of them, right? See, as a former police chief, I'm used to responding. You know, I have to respond, right? Yelling, come on, let's yell at me. Tell me what's wrong, and I gotta fix it. That's what local officials, you can't hide it, right? I get calls all the time because people know that I'm going to respond, and that is a good thing. But don't let Rubio and Scott sit there with no, like they're doing a good job. When they don't do what you need to write them a letter to. Call their office and complain, because I know this is going to change November next year. But right now they are your citizens. They don't get a free pass. Turn the heat up. When we go through this public health pandemic, small businesses that suffer, people were losing their houses and couldn't pay their rent. We'll let them sit there, and that's okay. Call them, write them, hold them accountable too. But if we stick together, that is the clean spirit. What they're going to try to do, Marco Rubio won't show his hand. But what he's going to try to do is build some type of wedge between you and me. And he's going to try to use criminal justice reform to do this. Don't fall for it. He's going to get some third-party group to talk about how awful I am because I was a police chief. Don't fall for it. Look at my record. Former social worker before I became a cop, who became a police officer with a social worker's heart. It does not mean I didn't hold people accountable. I will hold you accountable when you break the law, just like I did a former president. But I also understand if we don't deal with the social ills, as a social worker, we got to deal with poverty. We got to deal with unemployment. We've got to deal with job skills training. We got to deal with substandard education. If we know every 26 seconds a child drops out of school, and we look at our prisons, and the majority are Black and brown, and guess what else? They're high school dropouts. Maybe if we invest more in education on the front end, we can keep them out of prisons on the back end. So we've got to invest in the quality of life issues that cause decay in communities in the first place. No one gets a pass. No, thank you all so much.
For those of you who are tuning in with us, this stream will be coming to a close here in the next 2 to 3 minutes. If you would like to continue watching, please join us as we are also streaming live on Facebook. If you have Facebook, please make sure you go to the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus Facebook page, and you will see us live streaming there. I think the conclusion of the formal presentation has finished, and this is just photo taking and Q&A on a smaller group scale. As we relocate to get better close-up shots, you may join us back if you would like on YouTube stream here, as well as the Facebook page for both for the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus. We thank you for tuning in at this moment, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Let's all work to turn Florida blue. Thanks, and